All right. So, hi everyone. I'm Alease Michelle, your branding and social media expert, where I help women entrepreneurs and men who need me too. They need women, you know that, to create thriving brands so that they can increase their income, they can get more clients, and achieve success in their business and personal life. And so, tonight's topic is on how to brand yourself, brand your business, even if you have no clue on where to start. Right. And so today, this evening, I'm going to give you some steps on where to start. And then I'm going to open up the lines and allow you to come in and ask me questions or to share what your brand is doing and how you are doing. And, ask me some suggestions on how to make it better, or just to share what you're doing. That's what this whole blab thing is about, and actually getting on with us. Okay. So let me get started and let's talk about what is a brand. Really, what is it? What is it all about? Because we always hear this term about branding. You need to start a brand. You need to get on with a brand. You need to brand. We always talking about, but I don't know if people are really clear what a brand is. So I'm going to read like this quick little definition of it, right? A brand defines who you are and what you do, while also setting you apart from others like you. It communicates everything that your company does. It tells the world who you are. So branding, of course, is about, your logos. And that's really important, the color schemes. And I think a lot of business owners get caught up in the logo and then having to be perfect. But basically, a brand is who you are and what makes you different than everybody else. And so when I'm sitting down talking to clients, first off, I ask them, what makes you different than everybody else? Give me one thing, and sometimes it can be a really small little thing that makes you different than everybody else, but it is still part of who you are, makes your brand. So when people ask me what makes me different, is that what makes me different than any other branding coach out there is that I've been doing this for a long time, 17 plus years, and I've been teaching it and sharing it with young people, older people, and I'm able to take some of the most difficult technical things, strategies, and help people implement them in their business the most quickly, easiest way that they can understand that fits who they are. Not trying to get you to fit into my box, but I'm trying to get you to fit into your own box and make it work for you. Right. So that's what sets me apart. And so when we talk about branding, you think about what makes you different, what makes you stand apart from everybody else. And it defines who you are, as your business and your personal brand. So when you think about your brand, you need to think about, who is my company? And so if your company was a person, any person, what kind of personality would that person have? Would it be fun loving? Would it be outgoing? Would it be honest? Would it be of value to someone? What is it that that person would be like? That is your brand. So what I do and what I like to do with my students or people who work with me is to actually make an avatar up of who their brand is, right? Give that person a name. Maybe your name might be Boo Boo Kitty, anything, something like that. But give her a name and say, this is personality, and build that brand around that, the color, and then dress it up like that brand, like that person would wear, right? So I've got questions already on this side. Your branding speaks about you, and when you are not around to tell people what your brand is about. You are so right. It's that Bay Mokin. Ken is on with me. Hey, Ken, how you doing? The brand is like a mission statement. It is sort of like a mission statement. It is what you stand for. And I think when you say mission statement, most of the time I think of personal brands, but a brand I like to say is, it's your personality, a brand personality. Like, who is it? Again, if it's a person, what would that person's personality be like? Is that person a sweet, loving, outgoing person? Is your brand that? And what makes that person a sweet, loving person? They wear pink all the time. They are very encouraging and they have a very spiritual background. All of that kind of stuff reflects around your brand. So when you are truly living and walking and talking your brand, it shows. I'm a giving person. I try to convey that in my communication with people. I give people my undivided attention. I'm not busy doing something else because I value you. And so that's my brand, that I bring value to people, that I am a down-to-earth homegirl. I'm a straight-up Southerner. And so I want my brand to say that and be very personable. And so I try to convey that in my social media posts. I try to convey that when I'm talking to people. I give people my eye contact. So all of that plays into my brand. And I walk and talk it every single day. I'm all about, always looking somewhat professional, not like business professional, corporate, right? But somewhat professional, because that's the way put together is a better word. I want to look put together because when you work with me, I want you to feel like we are going to work together to do awesome things together. And Khadijah's could tell you about that. And I hope she's going to join in to share with us what she's doing on her blog. Okay. So the next thing is know your customers. Oh, this is super important. Know who your customer is. If you're going to establish your company as a brand, know who you are going to talk to. Know who you are going to sell your stuff to. Know them inside and out. If you know your brand, you need to know your customers the same way. I tell people, know your customers as if it is your best friend. How many kids do they have? Where do they spend most of their time? How much, thank you for the love, Khadijah. Where do they spend their time? Know who your customer is inside and out. So if that person walks through the door, you know exactly, like, girl, you my customer, you my client. I need to share my stuff with you. That's what you want that customer to be. Don't be guessing and hemming and hawing like, I think they like this. I know they like this. They might like this. That's not enough. You need to know who this person is inside and out. Again, like like you are their best friend, that you had to buy them a Christmas gift. And the Christmas gift was something that your business was. What would you give them? What would be the service or product would you give them for Christmas? That is knowing who your customer is, right? So know your customers. Know what a brand is and what you offer and what you value. And then be consistent. Oh, I could not say this enough. People want to start a business and they don't want to post every day. Okay. They don't want to post on Mondays. They just want to post whenever they can post or whenever they want to post, or I ain't got time for that kind of stuff. Be consistent in what you're doing. If you say you're going to be somewhere and you're going to do something, do it. That's a sign of being professional. Honestly, professional. And so even being consistent on your images that you post on both Instagram, social media, those things need to be the same. So if you look at my stuff, I'm going to use myself as an example. I use the same image on all of my social media profiles, because then when you come to a site like Blab or you go to Facebook, like, oh, that's that same girl I saw on Blab. Her stuff is consistent. Yeah, so there's nothing, I'm not flipping. I'm not just tripping. I'm not flipping and tripping all the time. I'm consistent in what I'm doing, right? Sometimes, I might have to drag myself out of the bed to post and to remember to post, but I have it all written down. But consistency is the key, because people come back to it. They want to know that you are doing and going to be where you say you're going to be. Okay, so Ken is saying you have to be there when your customer wants to buy, not when you're ready to sell. Correct. Amen, Ken. So right. You need to be there and be ready to take their money. They're giving it to you, so you need to be there. So right. So here's some strategies to start thinking about, right? I gave you the basics. I gave you the framework. Be consistent, know your customer, know what you bring, right? The value you bring. Well, the strategies that you can really implement is start to integrate your brand in all different platforms. Share with people where you can find you at on Instagram. If you want Facebook people to follow you on Instagram, tell Instagram followers to find you on Facebook at a certain place. If you want them to follow you on Blab, share it on Facebook to tell people to follow you on Blab. So integrate your brand in different platforms, okay? So right now I can tell you, if you want to find me on Facebook, just do a search and at Alease Michelle and you will find me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, just look for at Alease Michelle. You'll find me on Twitter. If you want to go to my website, go to aleasemichelle.com, right? You'll find me. That's a sign of being consistent. You can find me anywhere just by my name. We're going to talk about how important names are, but I'm going to talk about it really briefly. But integrate your brand in different platforms. So don't be just stuck at one place, because you need to reach the masses. That's what makes a brand stand out. You need to be in different places that different people can see you. Now, I was a little hesitant with going on Blab right off the bat. So this is like my second Blab. I joined in on the Blab earlier today, but I knew if I wanted my brand to expand, I needed to be in different places, right? So I needed to get over myself and not think that, I'm just going to stay on YouTube and do just YouTube videos. Well, that's not enough, because there are so many people on Blab and they're doing things and you can connect with people. I need to get on board, right? And so that's why I'm integrating my brand in a different platform, right? So that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is to create an attitude brand. Sometimes you might have heard like a lifestyle brand. Brand yourself as this new lifestyle. Like if you come and experience me, you're going to experience what I call the boss lady experience, right? That you're going to learn how to be the boss of your business and get things done. I try to create that experience when people come to me, when they do my live events or come to my workshops. That's the experience it's going to be. I like to be it to be surrounded by positive women all the time, boss women doing things. And I love to share what boss women are doing things. So that's my lifestyle blog. Branding that I like to incorporate under my brand. You'll see a lot of my images are very strong, like women, fashionable women who are doing things. That's called attitude branding, and people connect with that because I'm clear about who my customer is. I know what my customer likes and dislikes and how we connect. They love fashion, right? They love looking good. They love doing business. And so I like to share that in my brand. That's what is called attitude branding. And some of it might be, for you, might be a color connection. I see a lot of brands that use the color hot pink. I love hot pink. I don't like regular pink, but I love hot pink. So I see that a lot in other people's brands. They use color as a way to create an attitude. Sometimes you might see people who use, like on Instagram, there's this girl called Boss Babe. She uses very empowerment kind of quotes with fashion images underneath. She's creating an attitude brand or a lifestyle brand around the Boss Babe. So think about how you can incorporate that too into your brand. How can I create this attitude that people want to connect with? So if it's empowerment, if it's positive, if it's spiritual, if it's go-getter, if it's a money hunker, gold digger, whatever it might be, that can be incorporated into your brand by using very strong images or using powerful words, anything that really resonates with your audience, with your customers. So you really need to think about that too. All right. So the third strategy is word of mouth. Now I'm gonna talk about this. I got people joining, which is just awesome. I love this. And then I'm gonna open up the lines after this last strategy because I see that there's a lot of people. Well, matter of fact, let me go ahead and open it now. And while I am talking, someone can join in. So join in and chime in with me about how to market your brand, even when people don't even know where to start. Okay, so seats are open, so please join in. Khadijah's. So let's talk about word of mouth. Now, I just met with a client earlier today, and we talk about this, and I talk about this seem like all the time, that sometimes your biggest supporters are going to be your family and friends, right? And they're thinking, sometimes my family and friends are not going to be really supportive of me. Well, you know what? They will spread the word about your business if you put it out there, okay? Word of mouth is going to be the most powerful way to brand yourself, to get your business out there, to connect with the masses. You know, I'm a sorority girl, right? And so I'm gonna be honest, none of my sorority sisters have, well, one sorority sister has come to one of my events, which is fine. But we did an event together, and someone spoke about a speaker. They went right to me like, Alease is the speaker. You want her to be at your next event. So they knew what I did. They might not purchase from me, but they knew how to talk about what I did. They're my biggest supporter and spread the word about what I do. So it's really important to really incorporate word of mouth into your business. Okay. So we're about to get Miss Fix in here. Miss Khadidris is joining us. This is going to be so exciting. Yay. Yay.
Well, I'm not ready to be on camera, so I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'll say that I've learned as far as branding is to pick a social media platform and run with it. Go hard in that one social media platform, and then take those followers from that social media platform to the next, and to the next, and to the next.
Yeah, that's the way you integrate your brand, is to definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Dominate that one. Facebook was my domination. Really, I got on it. I knocked it out. I made some connections, and then I got on Instagram. Now, of course, I don't have as many followers like I see, like people who got 10,000 followers. I think I'm doing good with 1,400, but I try to get people from Instagram to Facebook and Facebook to Instagram so that, you know, they can find me on different platforms. I'm doing different things on different ones. Okay. I bet you look fine, Khadidris. I don't know why you hide behind this.
I didn't work today, so no.
Well, I am glad you're on with me. So tell me, how's your blog going?
The blog is going pretty good. I will say I have been sharing it with people. And the one thing that you mentioned about sharing it with family and friends, I haven't actually shared it with that many family and friends. I've been kind of keeping it under wraps. Some people I have shared it with privately. They know about it, so they have actually been visiting. But I will say I'm doing good as far as writing articles. The blog has only been live since Sunday. I have gotten more followers on Instagram, even though I know followers aren't everything. But obviously, I'm picking up some type of traffic, which I'm very excited about that. Right. You know, right now, I'm just trying to get to the point where I'm getting consistent about posting. My goal, I know that I won't be able to post every day because I do work a regular 9-to-5 job. However, I am trying to be consistent at least, you know, a couple of times a week, because I even noticed with the blogs that I personally follow and the blogs that I like, those ladies may not post every day because they work 9-to-5 jobs like I do. But it is nice to see that at least they try and post 2 to 3 times a week, or at least post something every day on Instagram. So I can appreciate that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's good. I am very proud of what you've done. I mean, literally, you know, when we started about a month ago. Wasn't it about a month ago?
It's probably coming up to be almost, it's a little over a month ago. Yeah. A little over a month. It'll be 2 months at the end of November. Yeah.
Right. We had nothing. And now you've launched your blog. You've created a brand around it. You're getting people, you know, to probably showcase your stuff. We need to get you on Iona's Success Stalkers podcast show.
Oh, absolutely. And what has happened with the people that I have shared my blog with, now they're asking for my help to help them set up their own blog. So
yay! That's another way we can monetize. Yay.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. So tell me this: how are you been able to work both things, like do your blog and work full time? How are you managing your time? That's the word.
As far as work, well, when I'm at work, I'm at work. I'm not going to lie and say that I don't take notes while I am at work if something comes to me. I do that. But what I try and do is just try to stay ahead of the game. The great thing about the WordPress platform is that you can schedule things. So right now I'm working on stuff for next week.
Oh,
And
good.
also what I've done, and I'm taking a cue from you, is to also take different things that I may post on Instagram, also
Uh-huh.
turn those into posts that you can put on your blog as well. So I'm actually getting to the point to where I'm scheduling. I will say that maybe a couple of days ago, I was kind of having blog burnout where I was
Uh-huh.
spending like every single night, like once my son went to bed, every single night I was up till about midnight
Oh,
working on it, trying to make sure it was perfect. But that's just me. That's the perfectionist in me. That's the researcher in me trying to make sure, it is, perfect when I actually release it. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm trying to look at this as not only as a business and something that I hope to monetize, but also as something that's fun and also as a creative outlet. So,
yeah.
a lot of the things where I may not be able to be as creative as I want to in my 9 to 5, I can take all of that and put it into the blog. So
Good.
that's how I try to manage right now. I'm doing a pretty good job of managing. My hope is to like create a schedule of different topics that I want to
Uh-huh.
focus on, and also take a tip from you where you said you have theme days. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to have theme days. So that actually really, really helps when it comes to writing articles. The theme days really, really help. So yeah.
Oh,
So right
good.
now I'm doing
Your
okay.
site your site is beautiful. When I went to it,
Thank
I was
you.
like, "Whoa, this is off the chain."
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
the photo that your husband took of you is beautiful.
Thank you.
I think you mentioned something about changing it. I'm like, you don't need to
Yeah,
change it.
well, my girlfriend, who was an image consultant, was like, I like your photo, but I don't know about your outfit. But I told her that the reason behind the outfit, and this goes back to branding, is because I want it to seem relatable and maybe not pretentious.
Right. And that's important, because
Mm-hmm.
we see all these, and I'm not talking about certain brands, but you see certain brands that it's got this glitter, is in sequence, is gold this and diamond this. And I'm like, girl, I hope you got that much money and that stuff in your purse, because you showing a life that, how many people really, Beyonce don't even really show that kind of life all the
No,
time.
no.
So yeah, I love it does seem like you're just like me. You know that I'm getting married soon.
Yes,
So I need for someone who's going to give me real advice with my budget, not some
yes,
crazy stuff that,
yes,
and
absolutely.
knowing that I'm mature. I don't
Yes.
want to say mature bride. Yeah, I think you're doing, you're doing perfect with your brand. I mean, it's on
Thank
point.
you.
It's on point. So I'm gonna ask you another question because no one else is joining in on us. So please join in. The seats open. Let me just tell you. Yesterday, I tried this the Blab thing
Okay.
for the first time. I got on because I was testing to make sure stuff is doing what it was supposed to do. And so this guy jumped on with me. I thought he would be on with us today. And I got hooked before I knew it. We had been talking for about an hour.
Oh my.
And I'm like, okay, I can't, you can get hooked on that. Cause I was asking him question after question. How do you do this? How did you do this? And how you do this? And so I like this. I really like this platform a lot.
Well, I
I
have
like
a
it.
question because I've never
Uh-huh.
heard of Blab until I got the email from you about you were going to be on there. So,
Uh-huh.
what would you say the difference is between Blab and Periscope?
Well, definitely you can see the difference is that you get to come in and join the conversation.
Okay.
With Blab, you get people, they can leave messages on the side and, you got all this stuff feeding up and stuff like this, but it's hard to interact because there's so much going on. It's like Twitter, to me, Twitter's platform is great, but it's a lot of chatter going on. And I think with Blab, it allows you to have people to join into the conversation with you. The other technical part is that you can embed the Blab onto your own website.
Okay.
You get, once the Blab is over with, you have to make sure you record it. They'll send you an email with the recording, the video recording, and the MP3 of it. So if you have a podcast, you can automatically upload the MP3 as part of your podcast. So it has so many different features that you can use to build your brand. So for you, if you could come on and talk about one of your blog posts,
Okay.
and talk about, hey, or one of your reviews. Didn't you say you're going to do a review of some of the invitations?
I am, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. I have taken photographs. I'm not really liking the photographs that I have taken, so I'm like, okay, I have to figure out something else. I don't know if I'm actually interested in going on YouTube. So Blab might be the way to go, since you said I can embed my recording into the website.
Right. And that could be a place that you can maybe throw out a question for people on Blab and say, hey, I'm answering any wedding questions. Okay. Maybe how to pick the best caterer for your wedding and get people on. So like me, I might ask, okay, so how do you pick the best cake? Like, do you go to the place and they do, cake testing? How does that work? Because I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Blab, I mean, honestly, once you get into it, you're going to get hooked. Like, I just met Ken earlier today, and Ken is on with me today, and Ken was in Canada. So it was just like, you make these connections from all over the world.
Yay. I'm going to have to practice.
Well, we can practice together.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so you'll tell me when you're on, and then I join in.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, I love it. So, how did you come up with the name for your blog?
I came up with the name. I went through a couple of different names in my head. So I decided to go with Perfect Bridal Scents because when I was in college, my minor was English. So I'm always into words and wordplay. And I have an undergraduate degree in speech. So I'm always into words, wordplay. So I love double entendres, but this is a triple entendre. And as far as Perfect Bridal Scents, sense just goes back to people using common sense when it comes to making decisions for your wedding, and also managing your cents, meaning cents as far as dollars, like CENTS, managing those at the same time. Because my whole goal with Perfect Bridal Scents is that even though you're getting married, even though you want to have a beautiful wedding and maybe even your fairy tale wedding, at the end of the day, the power bill is still going to be due. So we want to make conscious decisions, but still be fabulous at the same time.
Yeah, that's me. I want to be fabulous all the time. That's part of my problem. So just like you've heard, naming your brand or your company is really important. Bridal Scents is easy to spell, it's easy to say, it's easy to search for, so you don't have to worry about crazy spelling. When I came up with my name, my branding name, which is Alease Michelle, it is my name, but I dropped my last name because it was so long. I mean, you can Google me. My last name is McClenningham. Lord, it's 13 letters just in the last name. So that I wouldn't torture anybody in trying to spell that and look for me. Can you imagine AleaseMcClenningham.com? That's just too long. So when I came up with my name, Alease Michelle, just drop it. It was also work people knew me by Alease, and my family calls me Michelle. Okay. So I used that to make it a little easier for my family to be able to find me and to remember what my website was, and then to help, coworkers who might want to share. So I was already thinking about the word of mouth and how to make it easy for people who already knew me, how to share my stuff with other people. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
So I don't, is there any other questions you might have for Brandon? Because this show tonight, which is my first one, is really to cover the bases. My goal is to do these every Tuesday. I was going to say Monday, every Tuesday at 7:30. And we're going to talk about some new branding or social media topic every day. But today was really Branding 101. Quick little strategies that you can implement. And so we talked about name was everything, word of mouth, sharing your information out there with your people, creating a lifestyle brand around your company. And what was that? Oh, integrating your brand on all platforms, as many platforms as you possibly can, sharing your stuff with other people. So tonight was really that one-on-one stage, and I really appreciate, Khadijah, that you came on tonight.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah, we are going to do another one.
Okay, great.
We're going to do when you can come and talk about some tips about how does a new bride, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out what we'll talk about. Yeah, and so you can share. And if you want to, go ahead and put your blog URL in the comments section so other people can get a hold of it. So as we wait for Khadijah to finish doing that, I want to end tonight with, what do you do next, right? What do you need to do next to get your brand out there in front of more people? And basically, this little homework assignment is really simple and really easy. What I want you to do is go out there and look at other companies and businesses and see what they are doing. See what they are doing really well, and see, can you implement that into your own brand? So make a list about 5 or 6 really good brands, either on social media, on Facebook, that are very similar to what you are doing. And then look at what they're doing. How often are they posting? What type of images are they posting? What kind of engagement that they're getting? And then look and see if you can implement some of those same strategies that they're using in their business to use in yours, right? So, Khadijah, we're going to end tonight. I wanted to keep this at 30 minutes, and I'm right on the 30-minute mark. And again, thank you so much, baby, for joining me. And
no problem.
Yeah. And so if anybody has any questions, or you're ready to take your brand to the next level, or do something, with your business to brand it even more, give me a shout out, connect with me. You can send me an email at alease@aleasemichelle.com, and I will answer every single email that I get. All right. So I'm going to end. And Khadijah, again, thank you so much. And we will be talking soon. All right.
All right. Everybody have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.